My name is Ludwig Göransson, and I'm a film composer. I've wrote the scores for Mandalorian, Black Panther, Oppenheimer, Tenet, and I'm the composer for the film Sinners, out in theaters now. So this is a 1932's dobro. It was made 1932 in America, and this thing that you see right here is called a resonator. And these were actually used because back in the time, they didn't have amplifiers. So they put a resonator here to get the guitar to sing out a little bit more. And also, it's almost like a little natural distortion. I was able to find 3 of them in the world, one in London, actually, one in Nashville, and one in LA. This is called the slide. At the time, back in the days, people just used a bottleneck. They smashed a bottle and took the bottleneck and the glass bottle and put it on their finger and played it like this. Playing it with the slide kind of makes you be able to use the guitar almost like a voice, where you can.
So technically, you can just slide or glide. Like FL Studio only make a beat, you can glide it or slide it, or it's like it goes like you can literally, like how he did it.
Slide in between the notes, almost like you're singing. So it kind of creates this beautiful, beautiful note and gives you a lot of variety on how you can play with a note. So this is our hero guitar. It's very important to the story. The story is about Preacher Boy Sammy, who is a plantation worker, and what he really loves to do is to play the guitar. Eventually, this guitar doesn't only just get played on musically, but it also he also uses it in different kind of ways, possibly as a weapon as well. Yeah, so my first instrument was the guitar. When I was, my dad is a guitar teacher, and so when I was about 6 or 7 years old, he started to give me guitar lessons. And then when I was 8 or 9, I heard Enter Sandman for the first time by Metallica, and that's when I got really passionate about music. And I also, it was kind of my own thing. Like my dad was into the blues, and I was into heavy metal. And at that age, I didn't even understand that like all music, even heavy metal, it's all comes from the blues. It's really something that I think came out in this score.
Everything comes from the blues.
It's a very, for me, personal score. It starts mostly acoustically. I wrote most of the score, almost the entire score on this guitar. And then as the story kind of developed, it transitions into heavy metal. And orchestra and strings and big drums. In the middle of the movie, there's this beautiful, surreal music montage. And when I read it on the script, I got goosebumps because it's so beautiful.
Yeah, that scene was crazy.
Out-of-body experience. And I would never even thought about that. This starts with the performance, and then it goes into all these different music genres. And, it goes into the past, African music, and it goes into the future with a DJ, a blues, funk guitarist, electric guitarist playing, and this all takes place in the 1930s in a surreal kind of dreamy state. So the first thing we needed was the song, and so I brought in an incredible artist and songwriter, Raphael Sadiq, to write that song, and it was a dream of mine to work with him. And he had this idea of this blues song his whole life. And it was kind of a perfect moment how the stars aligned. After we recorded it, I sent it to Ryan, and he loved the song. And obviously we had an incredible cast member, Miles Caton, who has an incredible voice and is a great performer. The way that music performance came together was really a work of so many different departments working together for 2 months to put this shot together. It's a very complicated IMAX shot where the cameraman had to go through all these musicians, and we had to decide where the guitar is popping out, where's the drum popping out, where's the DJ popping out. So I was also kind of DJing. I brought my rig and brought my team there, so I was DJing almost on the spot while we were shooting the scene. And it almost felt like a live performance, but it was extremely complicated, and it took about 2 months to plan that whole scene out.
Preacher Boy.
Even though we have this kind of acoustic score with the guitar, there is a feeling of danger, which I feel like in this film is kind of portrayed by the strings, the orchestra, because the organ is kind of the transition between the gospel and that element that portrays Remick later on. So it's kind of a gateway. Also, the guitars, as we transition, the guitar tone switches from acoustic to electric as well.
Yeah.
I would say there's a bunch of themes. There's Sammy's theme. It starts off like this. And then we have another theme for Smoke and Annie, which is kind of their love theme.
She's like, "Hey, Smoke, I know you remember this body. Remember? No?"
I have a bunch of favorite bits of the score. There's this incredible part where I had this guitar, and I had that played by strings instead of the guitar, and the strings, the orchestra is playing it in the way that the slide guitar would playing it with the same kind of expressions. So they're sliding on the notes too and doing the same kind of dynamic. The guitar goes over to an electric guitar and solos over the strings, and it's not just like it's not like a normal solo. It's like a crazy, like ripping fast guitar solo. Michael B. Jordan is pulling up his automatic machine gun and like is shooting, peppering people with bullets, and you have a crazy intense guitar solo, electric guitar solo with that. That's a pretty epic music moment. And there you have it. That was some of the music for Sinners and how I wrote it and how I played it.
And if you know movies, or if you watch a movie recently, you should know this guy. If you love music, you should know this guy. Yep. See you next video.